As New Yorkers, we know what the city means to us, but what does it mean to other people? How does it inspire them, propel them in their lives, and make them who they are? Well, now actress Jane Curtin is finding out in a wonderful new series called This Is New York. And we are so excited to catch up with her now. Jane, it's so good to see you. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I love this series because it really celebrates New York and what we all love about it. So, how did the whole idea for this come about?
My friends at Symphony Space, Drew and Jennifer, just emailed me and said, would you ever want to? And if anybody phrases it that way, it's sort of a challenge.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to talk to these people? Yeah, I'd like to talk to these people. But then I thought, oh, now I have to do it. And I've never been in that position. You do it. You ask people questions all the time.
Yeah.
I'd never done it before. And so it was daunting. But then you sort of jump into people's lives. And fortunately, I had a long time to jump into Myra's life. And I really, really wanted to talk to her after I knew more about her and had seen some of the stuff that she had done other than the New Yorker covers that I knew her from. So it was really fun.
Yeah, it was a great conversation too. I know that coming up next, you have Marcus Samuelson, you have Molly Jong Fast. Are you selecting the people that you want to interview, or is Symphony Space kind of helping you pick your guests?
We had a whole, because this seemed to be, it's sort of like we have them captive, don't we? Because these are artists that have books coming out and you can't go on a book tour. So how are you going to get anything out about your projects? And so we have a way. Come talk to us. We'll promote your book. Sure.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a win-win situation for everybody.
It does, and you're asking people these questions, but I want to ask you,
okay,
what do you think makes New York such a special city, a city like no other? And what about the city inspires you or has inspired you in your career?
I think when I arrived in New York City, it was a very different city. Yeah. This was back in 1970, so it was a long time ago. And to me, it was the mountaintop. I mean, if you could make it in New York City, you had achieved something, and it didn't matter what you were interested in doing.
Yeah.
But if you could establish yourself somehow in New York City, then that was it. That was it. You've done well. You've done well. And then over the course of the time I've spent in the city, I realized that it's really the people. And for me, it was the middle class. It was the artists. It was the writers. It was all of the people that you'd see on the street at 2:00 in the afternoon because they had no place else to go.
Yeah, but everyone has these New York stories, and which is what you're going to explore on this series. I know that you are originally from Boston.
Yeah.
So I want to know where the allegiance lies with sports. I mean, are you with the New York teams or are you with you're not, Jane?
No. It's in my DNA. I'm a New Englander. I clams, it's, come on. I can't help myself.
Well, you're also part of Audible's 64th Man, which has John Cena, has a ton of other SNL cast members. It's a series, an Audible series, right? How do they describe it?
I don't really know exactly how they described it, but to me, it's like a radio drama. So it goes back to the 40s and 30s and 20s, that format, and it's just coming through a different device. So, but it's fun to do. Oh, it's such fun to do. Is the
process different when you're doing something like that?
You go into a recording studio just as you would had you been doing a series back with Bob Hope.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Speaking of SNL too, it's the 45th anniversary, which I can't even believe. But your overall experience with SNL during that time was positive or not?
The 90 minutes of doing that show was, I don't know if I've ever experienced anything as enthralling.
Yeah.
Because you're using every single thing you have, every nerve ending, every, synapse in your brain, you're using everything.
Yeah.
And you don't really think about it. You're just running on pure adrenaline. And that was so much fun.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't stay up that late. No.
Neither do I.
but I'll see snippets of it. You know, I know what's going on, but no.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Jane, it has been such a pleasure chatting with you today. I love the new series.
I'm glad.
SymphonySpace.org, everybody, for more info on the next This Is New York on November 18th, and to download past episodes as well. You can get the past episodes too. So Jane, thank you so much for taking the time. And I hope you have a wonderful time doing all these interviews in this new role as host.
Well, as long as I can sit in my living room, I think I'll be fine.
Me too. All right, be safe, be well.